Good afternoon, everyone. It is approximately 9:30. I am sorry it's so late. I had to get the kiddos to bed, and get everything squared away. And I'm actually not in pajamas tonight. That's a big yay for me. So as I mentioned earlier, I I got my notes on my computer because I had to make sure I wrote down everything that I wanted to um, touch on today. So I was going to talk to you about Adlerian theory, and we was going to start on grief. Um, so just a little bit about Alfred Adler. Um, he is in the time frame of Sigmund Freud and Jung. He actually studied under Freud, if I'm not mistaken, but he broke away to form individual psychology, emphasizing the holistic nature of human beings. He believed that we should be looked at as a whole and not just pieces. Um, and so he also believed that behavior is goal oriented and not just driven by unconscious impulses. Um, so different concepts just to kind of give you an idea before I touch on um, the grief part, like inferiority. I've dealt with that. I'm pretty sure other people have too, where we feel like we're inferior to other people and we strive to overcome them. And it can relate to grief in a way that when you lose someone, um, it can reignite the feelings of I wasn't enough. I couldn't save them, or I should have been there for them. I could have done more. Um, so that's how it's relevant. Striving for superiority, not saying that you're arrogant, but the drive to improve and find meaning. And when you are going through the stages of grief, it can either or stall how you strive for superiority, or it can deepen it. The lifestyle, how we interpret and respond to everyday life. Grief can isolate us, or we can seek connections, some good, some bad. Um, Grief plays a role in our lifestyle. Social interests, how we desire to connect and contribute to society. Sometimes people, when they're going through grief, they will heal um, through like their community, empathy, doing I think they have like grief groups where people bond over their loss and their shared experiences. So if you want to think about striving for that significance, it's like climbing a mountain. Like it's not easy to climb a mountain to get to the top. You have to go through probably winds, the altitude, different other objects because you're going to get tired. You have to have proper upper body strength. So it's not something that's easy, but you keep going for it. Um, so when I was thinking about grief, people also always, to me, associate grief with um, losing someone. But what about losing yourself or losing a relationship with someone that you thought was going to be your best friend forever, or your ride or die, or losing, and they don't even have to necessarily have already passed away. They could still be living. Something small could have came between you, um, growing, maturing, different things. And you're like, dang, that was my best friend. I don't have my best friend no more. I don't have, I've been knowing this person since this, and oh, or I'm supposed to be with this person. We were supposed to be together. We had dreams. So it doesn't always mean that the person is no longer here. And some people, if you're like me, people grieve over their dogs and their pets because they're like babies. And sometimes it's hard too because people don't always understand that either. So we want to look at grief through an Adlerian lens. Loss disrupts our goals. Whenever we lose somebody, especially if they were central to our purpose, that absence can feel like a collapse of meaning. It can just be like, you know what? I don't even want to become a nurse or a doctor. I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to adult today. I don't want to do it. Grief can also challenge belonging. because Adler emphasized the need to belong. Losing someone can make us feel disconnected, where we don't want to belong anymore. Grief and inferiority is something like survivor's guilt, where survivors like I should have I should have done more, or I feel guilty, I feel helpless, which as I brought out earlier, reflects the inferiority concept. Because especially, let's say, like people that pass away in a car accident, they're like, oh, it should have been me, it shouldn't have been them. And then it's what is called like survivor's guilt. Um, so as we're going through grief, like I said, I didn't do my disclaimer, but I'm working on being a licensed clinician. I'm actually working on a master's degree in this. I'm just sharing gems. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I mean, we all going through something. So this is just something that you can look at things a little bit different. Maybe if you resonate with it, you can journal about it, or use it to be in a therapeutic way. So if you want to use it in a therapeutic way, like ask yourself, what goals can emerge from this pain? What can I do to redirect the pain that I'm feeling? How can, you know, my thing with is when you lose someone, people always tell you to get over it, or people will tell you to get over it. It's been years, it's been da da da. But healing is different for everyone. Nobody heals the same. And grief has no time limit. My mom has been gone. This is 2025, 15 years in November. And I can hear a song, I can hear comments, I can hear anything small, and I will lose my mind. Okay, I will cry like I'm the biggest baby on the planet, because that's just how grief works. 15 years. It's not like it just happened yesterday. It's been 15 years. But it's also stemming from that, how can I redirect? Because I did go down the wrong path when she first passed away, and I disassociated. I did stuff I knew better. Let me just put it like that. So I said, okay, how can I make my mom proud? Like, how can I use my grief? How can I use my anger at myself for not being who I should have been? What can I do to redirect this pain that I'm feeling? Some people like to volunteer. Some people go to support groups. Some people paint, music, poetry, or I mean, even, and this may be hard, but like focus on early recollections. And early recollections are your fondest memory, like your memories that help how you respond to grief. Like, instead of saying, oh, I lost this person, but me and this person had a really good XYZ. When we were 7, we did all of these things together, and she was really a great person, or he was a really great person, or they were a really great person. So you just kind of have to reshape, because that's how you deal. And you hear me say deal and not heal, because you're still healing. You're never going to stop healing, but you just kind of deal like, okay, so anytime I get that urge, that feeling, how can I redirect it? How can I use it to make good decisions or right choices? Or can I help somebody else who's going through the same thing? As I mentioned, I want to just touch on the different types of grief. We have anticipatory grief. So like this happens before the loss. Like if somebody's terminally ill, this can trigger a lifestyle change. It can trigger for I cannot talk tonight, y'all. Feelings of being inferiority. I knew I could say that word. Like I could have saved them, even suicide, when things like that. Complicated grief. It can be prolonged, intense, or deliberating. Disenfranchised grief that is not socially recognized, like a loss of a pet, a miscarriage. People may say, like, your pain is invalid. So then from an Adlerian standpoint, it threatens your social interests because you go around people who doesn't validate that you lost your pet. Or, well, it's not a, some people, I'm not me, some people say that an embryo was not a person and you shouldn't feel anything. That's not my feelings. I can't tell people how to feel. On the other hand, I feel like it is, and I feel like if you lose an embryo, a baby, that's a pain that you can't overcome either. Collective grief is grief from just public tragedies, like all these shootings, people, kids, the elementary schools, the pandemics, like that stuff like that. So how can you heal, encourage goal reconstruction? What new purpose can I have? Can I go to group therapy? Can I write about my story? Can I write a poem? How can I get this out? Challenge limiting beliefs. I'm weak for grief. I'm weak for grieving. Grief is a sign of love. It means that you are human and that you love and that your heart is broken. Like a broken compass. Or I like the one because I like the tattoo that some people get, broken crayon still color. I like that a lot because we all are broken in our own way. We all have overcome things. We all have dealt with different things, and we're still here. Every day is a battle. Every minute may be a battle. Every hour may be a battle, but you're still here. If anybody want to post like a comment to me and just want to post like a question, or if they want me to go into deeper on something, let me know. I'll touch a little bit more on this in another video. But just let me know what you think, and what are some reactions, your feelings towards what I'm saying, because I can dive deeper if you need me to. We can do something like call from pain to purpose, talk about how to transform grief into art and healing. So just let me know. I am off to do schoolwork and some other things, and I will be looking for some more gems to share you guys. And the TED Talk that I wanted to show you, if you go on Google TED Talk, and her name is Kimberly Crenshaw. You can watch her on YouTube. I don't think it will let me add the link. It's called The Urgency of Intersectionality. It was delivered at a TED Women in 2016. And when I tell you guys, she hit some things, I was like, how did I not realize that? Like, how, as being I'm just gonna say it, a black woman, how did I not know that other black women were more affected by something that I was hearing about, but I wasn't hearing the names? So if you're interested, definitely check her out. She's on YouTube, or go just Google TED Talk and put in Kimberly Crenshaw, The Urgency of Intersectionality. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great night.